What did your space look like when you first started? And we kind of use COVID as like that line in the sand of, pre-COVID and post-COVID. What did it look like before COVID? Are there any big changes that you've seen as we kind of get to the point that we're at now?
Well, and I'll say this to you, Parkland was a line in the sand for us. When
Hmm.
that legislation kind of came through, we evaluated every school in the district, also all our auxiliary sites as well as far as safety, and we came up with a 7 to 10 year plan. And at first, it was very very difficult to kind of the work we had to do was so large. Just to be
Hmm.
honest with you, it was very very large. And when I took it over, there was not a lot of money that was allocated for safety. So the superintendent, the school board really made that possible. And we actually, the task force I mentioned earlier, really had already kind of set some groundwork or some things that need to be done in the short term. So when I came in, we really jumped on cameras, making sure all schools had camera coverage across the school district. And I'm not going to talk about the stuff we can't talk about today. So there are some things that we won't talk about, but as far as safety, but we got good camera coverage. We instantly jumped on fencing, creating perimeter fencing around schools, and creating, as the superintendent said, a very inviting atmosphere where the front of our schools are open and then around us are secure. And we're really big about creating layers of security, and that was one
Hmm.
of the main focuses as we started. We started with a perimeter level, actually from our property line, and then we went to where the exterior of the building, and then we have a classroom layer. So as we look at it, we look at it a 3 level approach, and I think that's really the only way you can really be safe in schools is to try to have those layers of security. And technology has been a huge part of that. Our camera systems, we have access readers on exterior doors on the major thoroughfares in our schools. We have looked at some very innovative things along the way to help us, um, such as we have some mapping with doors and cameras so we can quickly adjust and move around if we need to without having to click on just a server. We did some innovative things there as well. And we're always getting hit with new innovative things like weapons detections and those types of things. And we really, really try to make sure that when we get something, we can actually keep it for the long term. Make sure that we can maintain it, making sure that we can. We're a small school district moving to a medium school district, and so there's some challenges with that as well. The school district has been very open about helping us, grow into that medium level school district. As far as safety, as you know, we are growing. We talked about that before we even started this podcast about how we're adding a new school next year
Hmm.
to our school district, and so with that comes challenges of making sure that everybody has the same those 3 levels of security I talked to you about, that outer perimeter, that exterior of the building, and that classroom. We make it uniform across the whole school district. So that's a little bit of a challenge as we move through it, but we've really done that very well. And we got a huge server upgrade going on right now. As you know, you got to get into the routine of making sure your technology is modern. Uh, we do have halo sensors that detect gunshots, also vaping. It also detects loud noises in our restrooms. So we've got a lot of innovative things that are going on, and been a part of that. Henry's been a ultimate part of that. When we talk about safety, we meet with the person that's trying to sell us the item, the merchandise or whatever. We're always trying to make sure that it's something valued for us. We're always going out to school districts to see what they have. We don't just buy something off the cuff. We go and see how it works. What's some of your challenges? There's a lot of things that are going on right now as far as metal detection. We've actually been investigating that, and what's the struggles with that? How does that work? Do we have the manpower to run that? Those type things are what we're tasked with. And so currently, all of the technology items that we have, we can maintain. And so that's a big part of safety is just you can't just have something that doesn't looks great, but you can't maintain it and keep it going. I mean, as stewards of the taxpayers' money, we need to make sure, one, we're doing what we need to do, and two, we're keeping kids safe and our faculty and administration safe at our schools.